Hello, my name is Isatis de Saint-Simone, and the subject of today is the Antichrist. And this is a very important question for many people on earth. Who is the Antichrist? Is he here? Everybody's talking about this. And is he the Messiah? And so, again, the meaning of words is extremely important, the words we use, and to penetrate the meaning of each one of utmost importance. So the word Messiah, let's begin with that word. The word Messiah defines a being who will walk this earth with the purpose of restoring the lost children of light to their original identity and to redeem them, the Redemptor. So the Messiah is a being that takes physical form and has the power to restore conscious matter, which is human beings, to their divinity. He has the power of transforming matter into divine matter. And so the word Messiah encompasses the whole sonship of light, of God, the sonship of God, the so-called children of light. And the Messiah, according to the Catholic religion, the original Catholic religion, which ended with Vatican II, the Council of the Vatican II, ended with the traditional Catholic Church. There are branches now of the traditional Catholic Church, but they do not function from the Vatican. They're struggling to survive here and there. Thank God to Archbishop Lefebvre, who started the movement that said, no, I cannot adapt myself to apostasy. And even if he was threatened with being excommunicated and being treated as a heretic person, he said, no, you cannot excommunicate me because you are an anti-pope. I am standing up for the teachings of the Christ, and you are not. He said that to John 23rd, who said, come back. And he said, no. He says, you will be excommunicated. He says, you cannot excommunicate me because you're anti-pope. So you have here a system, even if people do not consider it so, in the Catholic Church. So Catholic Church, pre-Vatican II, whose head is Jesus the Christ and no one else, expects Jesus to return after the Antichrist has manifested. Also, the Muslim religion expects Jesus as the Messiah. And actually, in certain prophecies, Jesus returns to help the leader of the Muslims, Al-Mahdi, who will be cornered by the Antichrist in Damascus. When that happens, Jesus is supposed to come from heaven from a stargate with heavenly forces and dispose of the Antichrist. So here the word Messiah is very important for the Muslims as well as for the Catholic pre-Vatican II. The Messiah returns and disposes of the Antichrist. The other major religion, which is the Jewish religion, expects the Antichrist as the Messiah. The Antichrist is considered a deceiver and an evil person by the other two major religions, the Muslim and the Catholic, pre-Vatican II. The Jewish religion expects this entity, that is so-called the Antichrist, as the Messiah, because they refuse to accept Jesus of Nazareth, the Christ, as the Messiah. Now, who is the Messiah? What is his power? Like I said before, his power is divine. He has the power to transform elemental matter into divine. Only a divine being empowered by love itself, which is the divine power of creation, the Word of God. Only that power can transform elemental matter into divine. So the sonship of God can only be recuperated and redeemed by that specific power. Therefore, the Antichrist does not have that power, even if he claims to have it. He does not have the power. As he is described in one of the Muslim prophecies, he is defective, cannot see with the right eye. This means not that he's physically blind in one eye, but that he is unable to see with the heart. He does not have the capacity to feel love, to feel and see with the heart. He is hindered by his nature, which is the ego satanic nature, to experience or see with the eyes of love. So he is incapable of being the Messiah. This is like 2 and 2 are 4. It is antagonistic to his nature to make things divine. He can imitate that, and this is why he's called the great deceiver, because he will probably do extraordinary feats that people will consider miracles and deceive many. He is, according to St. John, the great deceiver, and according to also Muslim prophets. He has this attractive nature, like he will be, like St. John says, a wolf with a coat of a lamb. So this is an important thing to know, who is the Antichrist. He is incarnation of Satan, incapable to feel or see with the heart. So he can be cruel without guilt. Very, very cruel. And he is by nature deceiver. Jesus told the Pharisees this while he was on earth. He said, you want to kill me because you know my Father. You know that I come from where I come. And you come from the liar and deceiver from the beginning of all times. When he lies, he says, he draws from his own nature. Because he is the father of all lies and the ego. So this is why in many quotes of different people that knew what they were talking about when they talked about the Antichrist, like St. Paul, who called him the son of perdition, someone that has been born from someone who lost himself. And he said, remember that we are now fighting against non-human. This is a power. These are powers, principalities, thrones. So this is what's going on right now, where people are asking, what's going on? Why is all this disorder in every place? People that work in education. I have a client of mine in therapy that she is a teacher, and she is shocked about what is going on in the educational field. So much that she's thinking of withdrawing because things are happening that are contrary to her principles. It's a person with high principles. And people are going to feel obliged to change and go away from maybe great salary and great position because they don't want to be part of what's going on. That is not all right. Many, many things are happening in every field of society. And this is why. So why it? Because the spirit of the Antichrist, which means, remember, the word meaning is anti is against, and Christ is the power of love. So what is he for if he is against love? He is for hatred, destruction, and death of humanity. Know what you're dealing with. What is he going to be? When is he going to show up personally? I saw in a video in Google the top rabbi talking to Netanyahu, and he was reprimanding him in a nice way, saying the Messiah is not yet in Jerusalem. And Netanyahu, quite nervous, says, I'm trying. And the rabbi said to him, you have to do better. Netanyahu was quite nervous after that. So the Antichrist, his spirit is definitely here, and he is around. If not, that conversation would not have happened. Jesus also appeared to a Jewish rabbi, 108-year-old Rabbi Kaduli, and told him that he was going to come shortly after the death of Ariel Sharon. And Ariel Sharon died in 2014. So that's 4 years ago. So the times of the end are here. And the Antichrist spirit is being felt in many, many ways. Sound waves are being sent to affect the consciousness of humans This has never happened before. They want to possess the consciousness of human beings. And if you are not vibrating, because we are sound and energy, if you are not vibrating to the highest energy, you will be victimized by them. If you are below their vibration, the vibratory rate, you are under their control. So you must raise your vibrations. Your frequency needs to be raised. And if you don't know what to do, search, and you will find. It is possible to raise your frequencies, your vibrations. You will have to let go of selfishness and many other bad habits. But it is possible to transform yourself. This is what the whole thing is all about. You will be transformed because the cosmos is affecting all matter with transformation. You will be transformed, wanted or not, to one thing or the other. You will be transformed into a demon, or you will be transformed into a divine being, according to your choices. You are the driver of your own vehicle. You can go right or left according to what you choose to do. So remember that, the meaning of words, extremely important. The Antichrist, even if he presents himself as the Redemptor of men, which means the Messiah, he has no capacity to be the Messiah. This is like if you would see a dog that says, I am an elephant. And he is going to go and run with the elephants. He's going to be smashed by the elephants, which is going to be the end of the Antichrist. He won't be in power for too long. He will be in power for a few years, and many, many people will fall under his control, who is going to be pretty tyrannical. And stop making conclusions that are superficial about his identity. I have heard so many things that are completely off. Why am I so sure that they are off? Because I believe that if you do not take time to go and do the exact computation as St. John advises to do, you don't know what is his nature and what is the Antichrist. So then you start saying nonsense, like Trump is the Antichrist, or Saddam Hussein was also the Antichrist, or the guy that is the head of Syria is the Antichrist, or everybody is the Antichrist. Oh, Vladimir Putin is also the Antichrist. This is nonsense. Nonsense. Or this old guy that is the anti-pope in the Vatican is the Antichrist. No, Antichrist is not going to be like that. He is going to have magnetic personality, be very attractive. He will be a young man, Jewish. He has to be Jewish to be accepted as the Messiah by the Jews. And he has to have a pedigree, be a descendant of the bloodline of David. If not, he is not going to be accepted as the Antichrist. Know this. So all this nonsense of saying Vladimir Putin is the Antichrist or the other guy from Syria or whomever is nonsense. You want to find the computation? It is available in Amazon. The exact computation made with a numerological system of a disciple of Valentinus, a disciple of St. John. So, call the 800 number that is in my website, that is called quantummindtherapy.com, Quantum Mind, or Love Action Transformation. The Love Action Transformation, you click on the word blog and it'll take you there. And there's my 800 number. quantummindhealing.com will also take you there. And you will find the exact computation is available there. And also a book about the Antichrist with incredible information about the Antichrist. He will be a magnetic personality, extremely intelligent, the most refined intelligence of evil, knowing exactly what to do. He will magnetize many people. So that's, remember, a force, yes. A power, yes. Of evil, but a power very much powerful on this earth. Jesus himself acknowledged his power when the devil came to him and said, I will give you all those kingdoms. All the kingdoms of the earth, they're mine. People will worship you if you will only bow to me. And Jesus said to him, it is true, all these kingdoms are under your control, they're yours, but do not forget who you're talking to. And then the devil had to go. But arrogant he is. He dared. So he does in these times of the end, and he will deceive many. So he is the great deceiver. And his name indicates what he is, anti-love. I think Dajjal means the great deceiver. That name also indicates his nature. The great deceiver who is anti-love and presents himself as God, and is not. So watch out, be in peace, and try to practice love in action, truth, and in deed. Until the next time, I'll see you then. Bye.